that you're in a hurry and you need an escape, when all you have is a pile of worries. Always on my mind and way out of my league. You were born to be on display, and I'm hard to read. I thought of you, hoping that the ripples would make you notice me, and now you're here, sunlight on the ripples, somehow you noticed me, I don't believe it's all about the things that we share. Marry me when the lights go out. You know I'll be there. I thought of you, hoping that the ripples would make you notice me, and now you're here, sunlight on the ripples, somehow you noticed me, Teach my soul to sing your song, even when my eyes can't see. When I can't seem to carry on, I know your hand is guiding me. I know your hand is guiding me. Through the valley I may walk, but you are all I'll ever need. Gave you life to take my fall, so in the storm I will have peace. So come the storm, I'll still believe. And when it seems I'm at the end, and I don't know what I believe, through the cloud I see your hand, reaching down to guide me. You're always reaching down to guide me. 'Cause I'm yours and I am.
Say something that will make my day, 'cause these memories of her won't go away. They're haunting me so I can't sleep. She was a pretty little liar who cut me deep, 'cause she left me here alone. Now my bed feels just like cobblestone. Oh, why did she go? Oh, was I supposed to know that she'd leave? Was I the naive to think that she'd be the one? Whoa, why did she go? I met her back in 2005. It was her crooked little smile that caught my eye. Time went by and it was her and I. She promised me to never leave my side, but she left me here alone.
When you find that you're in a hurry, and you need an escape, when all you have is a pile of worry, I'll help you carry the weight. Just stay lost here with me. We don't have to say anything. Just let ourselves get lost in between the magic and the mystery. Stay lost with me. Sitting here in the stillness and quiet, losing track of the time. Oh, this memory will burn the brightest. Leave it be, let it shine. Just stay lost here with me. We don't have to say anything. Just let ourselves get lost in between the magic and the mystery. lost in between the magic and the mystery. Stay lost with me. Just stay lost here with me. We don't have to say anything. Just let ourselves get lost in